So we're going to start off a little differently this morning. We're going to start off lying on our tummies. So we're going to just start, as long as that's comfortable for you. If it's not comfortable to lie on your tummy, then find a place that is. But we're going to just begin by having a little bit of rest on the tummy and placing one hand on top of the other, forehead on the hands. And before you settle into this posture, maybe taking one leg away and then the other, and one elbow away and then the other. So there's a real sense of openness in these large joints of the body. So bringing your head down onto your forehead, onto your hands if that's comfortable, or you can just turn your head to one side if that's not right for you. And it gives your back an opportunity to just go into a very gentle little back bend by lifting your head in this way. And you can feel the expansion of the belly with the in-breath. And as you breathe out, that sense of release and feeling the belly sort of lifting back up. It's not going to come completely off the mat, of course, but there's a little extra pressure as you breathe in and a softness as you exhale. And as you lie here in this position, noticing if you're holding on to any tension in any way, and see if you can release that through an awareness of the breathing. Really checking in with those large joints of the body, the shoulders and the hips. And if there's anything you can do to soften into these areas, just a little bit more. And the next time you breathe out, drawing in through the pelvic floor, the belly button coming to the base of the spine, and tip the pelvis so that the tailbone goes down towards your heels. And then as you breathe in again, just gently releasing. So there's a little rocking of the pelvis. So using your abdominal muscles to create that movement. Sometimes it's a little bit harder doing it this way because you're sort of working against gravity, so harder than when you're lying on your back for some. And then holding a little bit of tone here so that you're not completely softening the belly. There's some tone, some contraction here. And we're going to do some exercises to support the back, the spine, and to take you into stronger back bends too. So first of all, just lifting the head, bringing the elbows in and resting the chin on the hands. You might want to separate the legs and take the feet out to the side, just turning them the other way. Resting crocodile. So you're lifting, your chin is on your hands, your elbows are just underneath your shoulders. You're looking forwards. And as you breathe out, you can feel the lower back releasing. As you bring your attention to it, if it feels really pleasant, just allowing yourself to dwell and linger in that pleasantness of this gentle, soft back bend. And then easing yourself up into Sphinx, elbows underneath the shoulders, spreading the fingers wide. Legs are parallel and looking forwards now. So there's an openness through the heart center. A lifting up. So you're sort of pressing into your forearms, into your hands, and opening into the front of the chest, the throat. And as you exhale, drawing yourself forwards just a little bit through your shoulders, as if somebody's just pulling you forwards. And then as you inhale, soften back to your neutral position. So on the exhale, coming forwards, on the inhale, just softening and releasing. So as you're drawn forwards, noticing how you can feel that stretch down the sides of the spine, particularly into the lower back, maybe the hips. Every time you breathe out, you might come forwards a little bit more. And then gently and slowly let the head come back down again. You might want to turn it to the side, or it depends on the length of your nose and the shape of your face, really, as to what feels comfortable. And we're going to take the arms into various different positions and lift the arms and the head up off the floor. So starting off with the elbows at shoulder height, like a cactus. So the fingers are spread, the elbows are at shoulder level and bent. So take a breath in, breathing out, just contracting through the core, lifting up, squeezing the shoulder blades together, keep looking down at the floor, and then release. So we're going to come up and down in each position 4 times, and take your time. So there's no need to rush this process, really making sure the more slowly you do it, the more you're working into your back and shoulders. Lifting and lowering at your own speed, just keeping your face looking down at the floor. You're not going to try and work into extending the neck. And when you've done that 4 times, just resting for a breath in and out. And then taking the arms so that they're down by your sides, away from you a little bit, and the palms are turning upwards towards the ceiling. Breathing in, breathing out. So it's like aeroplane arms, but your palms are facing upwards. Lifting and lowering 4 times. And then every time you come to the end of a set of 4, just resting, noticing if you're holding on with your buttocks, and see if you can soften them. And then we're going to take the arms right out to the side with the palms facing down to the floor. So they're extended, they're straight at shoulder height. So breathing in, arms coming up, head coming up, upper body lifting up as high as you can, contracting through the core, and then slowly down. Squeezing the shoulder blades together, so you're really lifting the arms up as high as they will come, and then gently down. And then taking the arms up and out to the side, so the palms are down to the floor. They're sort of at an angle to you, so you're not taking your arms straight up above you, they're out to the side a little bit, but not directly in line with the shoulder. Breathing in, breathing out, lift. So this is becoming a little bit harder because you're carrying the weight of your arms right up. So core strong, really working the back if you possibly can, rather than the buttocks. Good. 4 times. And then having a breath in and out in a resting position. And then extending both arms, both legs right up. Take a breath in, breathing out, lifting the upper body and down. So really connecting with the core. Four times. And then when you've done that 4 times, one hand on top of the other, just turn the head and rest just for a few moments. And we're going to turn our attention to the legs and keep the head, either the forehead on the hands or just gently turned. And we're going to lift and lower the right leg 4 times. So lifting and down. So really controlling it and feeling the center of your body, really supporting it as your leg comes back down to the floor. So you're doing that quite slowly. And then the other side, switching over to the left. 4 times. And have a pause. And we'll do it all together. So both legs together, lifting and lowering. So they won't come up nearly as high at this stage. Good. And then we're just going to finish this set with a starfish. So taking the arms up and out a bit, so they're not out at shoulder height, they're sort of out to the sides, and take the legs out to the sides as well. So you're a starfish. Take a breath in, breathing out, lifting both arms, both legs, and down. So 4 times, lifting and lowering. Lovely. And when you've done that, just ease yourself up and back into child. So just separating the knees maybe a little, take the arms down by your sides. So it's a lovely counter pose to going into a back bend, just taking your body into a forward bend. Great. And then we're going to come into cat, and I'm going to take my socks off. So you might want to do the same. Just coming into cat posture. Hands below the shoulders, knees below the hips. Just looking down at the floor, and we'll do a few rounds of cat-cow. So taking a breath in, breathing out, rounding the back, tuck the tail under, chin to the chest, and then softening down, keeping the elbows nice and soft and gentle. Feeling that beautiful flow through the spine. The experience of the breath and how that enhances the feeling of flow, movement. Nice and slow. Lovely. So we're going to do some balancing postures from here, and again, really connecting in through the core. So finding your flat back, you might want to look at the screen to make sure your back is nice and flat, because sometimes it feels that way, but it isn't. Drawing in the tummy, so there's that lovely sense of control through the center of the body. And we're going to take the right arm out in front of us. Just holding it there. And then shifting over to the other side. Left arm. Just keeping that sense of tucking the tail down towards your heels, and then swapping over. Right arm comes up, left arm, the left leg, sorry, comes out. Not left arm. Left leg comes out. So nice and straight. So you're going opposite to opposite. Right arm, left leg. That's it, Karen. Linda, can you just tuck your tail under a little bit? So you're pulling your tummy in. That's it. That's better. Good. And then gently easing that down, having a pause, a breath in and out. And then taking it over to the other side, extending the right leg, the left arm, and noticing if your spine wants to kind of dip down. And if it does, draw that tummy in. That's it. Really extend the leg away, Karen. Push that's it. Nice. Good. Just hold it. Feel the wobble. So good for you. And then gently down. So if that was a challenge enough, then we'll stay with that. But if you feel like you can do the right arm and the right leg at the same time, then do. But what I don't want you to be doing is sort of turning, because that makes it easier. So really drawing in. Extend the right leg away first. I always like to take the leg away first, and then the right arm. And really feel like you're opening into both of those large joints, the shoulder joint, the hip joint. Good. Well done. Keeping the head looking down, face looking down. Well done, Lisa. Nice. That's it, Louisa. And then swapping over to the other side. Left arm, left leg. And that feeling of really lengthening away at the same time. So there's a beautiful opening sensation in the core, as well as holding you steady. Good. And then coming back down, and we'll just ease the hips from side to side. Just gently rock those hips from one side to the other. And then we'll start to take them round in a circle. So softening through the elbows, but coming forwards to the right side, bottom down to the heels, and round to the left and forwards. Good. So really bringing yourself forwards over your shoulders, right over to the right side as much as you possibly can. Press the hips out, and then down to the heels, over to the left. And then when you're ready, pause, and then the next breath, take it back the other way. Extending the hips out as far as you possibly can. Good. And then ease yourself back into kneeling. Give everything a shake. Oh, the wrists, the fingers. Just circle them round a little bit. Let's release into the shoulders. Nice. So we're going to go into elbow dog. Sorry, I'm just going to, my mat's going to walk about. We're going to go into elbow dog. If your elbows are sore, then you might want to go into just normal downward facing dog or modify it. But we haven't done elbow dog for quite some time. So coming into cat once more, with the hands underneath the shoulders, and where the heels of your hands are, just let the elbows come into that place. And then we check that so that when you take one hand and then the other to your elbows, you'll be able to touch your elbows with your opposite hand. So that shows that your elbows are right underneath your shoulders. And then plant your forearms and your fingers down onto the floor, drawing in through the core. So get that lovely steadiness through the center of the body. Tuck the toes under, take a breath in, breathing out, coming on up. Feeling the opening of the shoulders. So the elbows are on the floor, unless you don't want them to be. Linda, yeah, I didn't know where you were. Good. If you feel your elbows are popping out to the sides, then see if you can draw them in a bit, because if your shoulders are tight, they have a tendency to do that. And then let's have a little walk with the legs, one leg and the other, opening into the back of the knees. And then the knees opening, heels going down towards the floor. They won't get anywhere near there. And breathe. Drawn through the core. Good. And then gently ease yourself out of it. When you're ready, have a roll of the shoulders. And we're going to, once you've done that and had a little shake, we're going to go back into it. So really, as you sit here, you might even start to feel the shoulders opening a little bit. So we're going to have another go. Back in cat, elbows on the floor, check it with the fingertips, forearms on the floor, spread the fingers, toes tucked under, breathing in and breathing out. Up we go. Remembering opening into the back of the knees, the heels going away from you as far as you possibly can. Lovely, well done. And then gently coming out of it, ease yourself up. Tucking the toes under, and we'll come into a squat. So maybe taking the feet wider so that your heels can come to the floor, and then get the elbows inside your inner thighs. Bring your hands into namaste. Oh, nice. That's my little cat doing her squat. Just let the tailbone hang down. So nice for that area of the body to open in that way. Great space around the sacrum. Take a breath in, and if you can, as you breathe out, coming up to standing. If that's sore on your knees, do what you need to do. Or just come up to standing. Beautiful, well done. And have a little shake. Good. A roll of the shoulders. So let's just loosen into the hips a little, being in that posture. Let's take the knees up and out to the sides. Lovely. And then coming into mountain, standing nice and tall, feeling that piece of string coming up through the top of the head. And we're going to just roll the shoulders. So bring the elbows forwards, up, back, and down. And then take one elbow in front of you and the other. So just keeping rolling as if we're doing kind of a backstroke, but we're going from side to side as well. So we're starting to take the thoracic spine into a beautiful twist, easing around, going as far into a circle, into a twist as you possibly can. Lovely. And then let that go. Take the hands behind, interlace the fingers, draw the shoulders back, lifting the hands up. Take a breath in, open through the chest. As you breathe out, release. Just let the arms swing. Doing that a couple more times. Breathing in and breathing out. And again, breathing in. Lifting your hands as high as you can and then release. Okay, so we're going to find a little bit of a wall. So it might mean that you go off screen for a bit. We're going to do some press ups against the wall. So standing press ups. So what I want you to do is to come as far enough away that you feel like you're putting some weight onto your hands and your fingers are going to be pointing towards each other. Good. So you might want to lean back and walk back a little bit through your feet, but your hands are at shoulder height, chest height. So take a breath in, breathing out, ease your body weight forwards and back. And doing this as slowly as you possibly can so that you can really feel the work that your shoulders are doing. You keep your back nice and straight. Core is strong. If you don't feel that you're putting enough effort into it, just move your feet back. You can play around with where you are. Really, real resistance work for your shoulders. You might want to play around also with the position of your hands so that, Lisa, you might want to put your fingers towards each other so they're pointing in. That's it, because it just changes the muscle group that you're using as you change or working with as you change the position of your hand. Good. And then release that. Have a little shake, a little shimmy. Perfect. And then we're going to find a ledge or a radiator or a windowsill or back of a sofa or something. And we're going to really extend into our shoulders. So taking quite a long step back from whatever the object is that you're moving towards. Take the arms up and breathing out. Just rest your hands or your fingertips on that object. Just moving all my stuff away. And then let the back start to drop down so that you are keeping the head aligned with the spine. The legs are straight, but the knees aren't locked. It's not really about the back of the legs. It's about opening up, lengthening into the spine and the shoulders and the thoracic spine in particular. That's a really nice posture, Karen. Good. So we're trying to get the back as flat as we possibly can so that we're at right angles to our legs. And with every exhalation, just letting the sternum come down towards the floor just a little bit more. And you might want to just ease the hips back. And rather like when we're in Sphinx, as you ease the hips back, you can feel all those muscles underneath the shoulder blades, deltoids on top of the arms start to stretch and lengthen. Such a beautiful stretch, particularly if you've got a problem with your shoulders, upper back, and slowly come back up. Oh, might make my arms longer if I do this. Just, let them go a little bit. Give them a wobble. Just notice how free they feel. It's nice and easy, does it? And then separating the feet a little bit wider. And we're going to go into cow arms. So if you know, I mean, we've stretched and opened, but if you know that you can't interlace the fingers behind you, you might want to get yourself a sock or a belt or something like that. Who have we just lost? Louisa. So we're going to take the left hand around into the thoracic spine, the back of the hand onto your upper back. And you can just ease that around and up a little bit more with your other hand if you feel that that's helpful. Just wriggle it up as high as you can. And then we take the right hand up and interlace the fingers. So if you can't quite reach those fingers, then you may well want to get a sock or a belt or something. And we're not trying to get the head coming down. If there's too much of a pushing the head down, then you might want to separate the hands a little bit. We want the neck to be nice and free. And then softening down through the knees, drawing in through the core. Take a breath in. As you breathe out, you're coming down into a forward bend. The hands might separate a little bit. Mine just did. But you're coming down into a hanging forward bend. Keeping the hands aligned as best you possibly can. And just ease from side to side in that position. And then take a breath in as you breathe out, easing yourself back up. Gently release. Maybe give that shoulder a little bit of a massage and move about. One shoulder will feel more open than the other. And then changing it to the other side. So take that right hand up. Give it a little bit of a help if you need to get a little bit higher, just wriggling it up to the top. And then the left arm comes up, down behind. The neck is beautifully free still. Good. Drawing in through the core, softening through the knees, breathing in and breathing out. Down you go again. And then easing from side to side, if that's helpful. Just notice how that opens up into the shoulder, the sides a little bit more. Good. And then release that, nice and easy, as you come up, and then have a roll of the shoulders. Yeah, maybe a little twist, let the arms block against your body. And slowly bring it to stillness. You might want to just take the head from one side to the other to free into the neck. That feels like it's been a little compressed. Perfect. So we've been doing a little bit of Warrior 1 and 2 over those last few weeks. We're going to go into Warrior 3. So we've really prepared ourselves for Warrior 3 with the shoulders open and an extension through the thoracic spine. So Warrior 3 is a balancing posture, and it is helpful if you get back to, if you need a ledge to support yourself. So it can be helpful to start off with, in that you can really get a beautiful line with using a little bit of support, and then you might be able to just let go of that support. So starting off in mountain with a really good long stride, like a leg length away, or maybe even a little bit more from the ledge if you're using it. Take a breath in, both arms coming up to the ceiling. So far, so good. Take a breath in, breathing out, just peeling the left foot up off the floor, walking a very small step forwards. And as you transition through, let the right leg come up, and then lifting that leg up to be in line with the body. And as I say, you might either want to hold onto the ledge or do this freestyle, completely depending on how you're feeling. Or you might want to start off with a little bit of support and then release that. So just drawing in through the core, let that right leg come up as high as you comfortably can, in line with the body. The back is nice and flat. There's a lovely posture, Lisa. Good. And then gently let that leg come down, both arms coming up. Feel that transition, and well done. Have a little shake. Coming back into mountain. And doing that on the other side. So both arms up, right foot peeled off the floor, gently easing forwards. Let the left leg come up. Finding that lovely straight back, arms extending away. Feeling the balance, using your core, breathing. Nice. And then when you're ready, gently back down. And this time we're going to do it slightly differently. We're going to do it with the arms down by the sides and the palms facing upwards, like aeroplane arms, like we did when we were lying on the floor first thing this morning. So coming back into mountain, take a breath in, breathing out. I can't remember which foot I did. I think I did the left foot first. Walking the left foot forwards, let the right leg come up and the arms down by your sides as you ease yourself forwards, the palms up, the arms just a little bit away from the sides of the body, like you're an aeroplane. Keep looking down at the floor. All nice and strong. Breathing. Nice. And then transition out of that. Deep breath in, easing over to the other side, stepping forwards with the right foot, the left one lifts up slowly, slowly. And you might find you're much more balanced on one side than you are on the other. Straightening through the arms, shoulders away from the ears as that foot comes up, up, up. Holding the balance as long as you can. Good. And then gently and slowly coming on out of it. Beautiful. And a roll of the shoulders. A swing of the arms. Going into a nice twist again and noticing how your shoulders are feeling now. Your upper back. Take the arms up a little bit, just pat the shoulder, just give them a little bit of comforting attention. And then gently down, so you're tapping on the hip. And then standing nice and still, hands in namaste, thumbs coming onto the heart center. And then softly release. All right, so we're coming on to the back. Just give your knees a hug into your chest. And a little massage from side to side. So your back's worked really hard today. So it needs some gentle, loving attention. So you might want to do this with either your knees and your ankles together, or crossing the ankles sometimes can be nice too. And just going over from side to side. And having a little play around with this to see what your back would like. So knees coming closer, further away. Just a nice gentle movement, or something quite strong. Don't forget to pay attention to your tailbone. So you might need the knees to go right away from you to massage there. Let go of your knees, depending on your arms. And then gently bring your feet to the floor. And let's finish off with a Dwapadapeetham So your heels as close to your bottom as you can possibly get. Spreading the toes wide, making sure the chin is tucked in so that the lengthening along the back of the neck can be felt. The shoulders away from the ears, palms on the floor down by your sides. Breathing in, breathing out, contracting through the pelvic floor. The tummy pressing down into the big toes as you come up and up and up. As you pause to breathe in again, as you breathe out, coming up onto your shoulders, it's flowing up into 2-foot support, Dvipadapitam, coming up as high as you can. We're not coming down in between, we're just lifting and lifting even more with every out breath. See if you can creep up onto your shoulders a little bit higher. And having a play around with that, you might want to interlace the fingers underneath so that your arms are straight. Just having a go at that, or lifting your arms up above along the floor behind you. Breathing and extending away. And then taking a long deep breath in. And as you breathe out, easing yourself down 1 vertebra at a time, slowly, slowly, slowly back down to the floor. Good. And then let's just rest in inverted fish. So cross your right ankle over your left, your right wrist over the left, hands behind the back of the neck, and open up the knees and the elbows, really making use of this openness of the shoulders, creating the same sensation in the hips. Beautiful long breaths in and out. Just notice if you go into a little bit of a back bend. If you do, maybe altering the position of the pelvis a little. And then gently changing to the other side. Crossing the other ankle, the other wrist. Real belly breaths. And then having a good long stretch. Release that, take your arms up, push the heels away, stretch it all out. And then finding a comfortable posture. So we're coming into our Yoga Nidra practice and just getting whatever you need to feel comfortable. So pillows, blankets, cushions. So this Yoga Nidra practice is to cultivate the positive. Pratipaksha Bhavana. The finding a comfortable spot for sitting or lying down. And then starting by rubbing your hands like you're rubbing some good lotion in. And then gently place your warm palms over your closed eyes, allowing the warm darkness to soothe your eyes for several breaths. So you might want to repeat that a few times, warming the hands and then putting them over the eyes. Feeling the breath. Now feel free to stretch however you like. And then settle yourself in comfortably. And wherever you are, it's best to have your chin aligned with the center line of the body for clear communication between your brain and the body. Keeping your arms, legs, and feet uncrossed. Make personal adjustments for maximum comfort. Take a nice breath in and sigh the breath out. Now, if you have one, you're invited to say your heartfelt pledge, your sankalpa, 3 or so times with sincerity. Or perhaps let a quality that supports your highest good and life direction come up. Or for now, you can use something like, I'm focused more and more, or I have gratitude. Start searching your body system by conducting a thorough scan of your physical body, picking up on whatever's going on. Conducting a search of all the places that feel comfortable. All the places that feel uncomfortable. And all the in-between places. In your own way, ask for your body's cooperation and support. And start another scan to search your mental components, including your intellect and thoughts. In your own way, ask for your intellect's cooperation and support. Begin another scan of your emotions, including your feelings and mood. In your own way, ask for cooperation and support from your emotional components. Now, with cooperation and support, become aware of the components that is always running in the background, that impartially and neutrally oversees your body, mind, and feelings. It's awareness itself. It's time to monitor your breathing. Without changing it, begin measuring your intake of air. Calculate each inhalation by counting how long it takes to breathe in. And do this for several cycles of breath. Determine the average count for your inhalation. And continue breathing in for that number and breathe out for a number up to twice as long. So if your inhalation is 4 or 5, begin breathing out for 5 to 10. This will help to debug and clear your system of static and noise. When distractions come up, delete them and continue breathing in this way. Each time your focus wanders, simply bring your attention back to breathing. And now imagine there's a blank screen in front of you. It's a clean, blank page. When words or images or anything else appears, you can choose whatever you want to do to keep it uncluttered and clean. You can delete them so the screen stays nice and clear. If it's a negative thought or feeling, cultivate the positive. For instance, use cutting and pasting to delete the negative and substitute something positive. For instance, replace confusion with clarity or dissatisfaction with satisfaction. It's up to you. Sometimes labels can be helpful. Name it, planning or stressing, thinking about the future, or whatever it is, and continue monitoring. They can be filed for now to decide whether to save them for problem solving later, trash them, or store them for a while. Or you can paste in your own mantra if you have one. Otherwise, you can use a peace mantra like, I am peaceful, or Om Shanti, or anything else you wish. Continue monitoring the mental screen using whichever techniques you want. Just pick some tools to use during this pause. If you doubt yourself, it's just something else to delete, file, or cut. An insight program is available. Perhaps you're searching for answers to a question or looking for guidance for a situation. Just allowing that download to happen, making room for insights, answers, and creativity to open. It's time for noticing what's happening and how you're feeling. Perhaps there's a sense of contentment. If it helps, imagine that you're on holiday or in a place of happiness. Imagining what it would look and feel like to be on holiday. Noticing how it feels in the body, heart, and mind. And you're invited to let all that go, to welcome everything just as it is during this silent pause. And from this experience of welcoming and being with everything, just as it is, once more welcome in your heartfelt pledge. Say it with all your heart a few times. Imagine it as true and happening now. And take a big breath in and let it all go. Trusting that this or something better is already evolving on your behalf. And as your practice comes to a close, remember to continue cultivating the positive by changing one thought or feeling for another. When someone is unkind and behaves badly, or when you're tempted to be critical, you can choose to focus on the positive. Once again, scan your body. In your own way, feel some gratitude for its cooperation and support. Start scanning your intellect, feeling some gratitude for its cooperation and support. And scanning your emotional component with gratitude for its cooperation and support. And some gratitude for that part of you that constantly watches over your body, mind, and emotions. To restore your energy, bring back whatever you wish for your sake, for the sake of others. Begin to breathe more fully, stretching and moving in ways that feel natural. Awakening more and more. And if you're lying down, roll to your side for a bit. Resting on your arm or your pillow cushion. Knowing there's a place inside that's always there to fully support you on your life path. And then gently easing yourself up to sitting when you're ready. Taking a breath in, a lovely long stretch, and breathing out. Namaste. Om Shanti, Shanti, Shanti. Thank you.